relationships are really complicated and weird, but I think they break down to the middle school level. Because in middle school, I was the Rizzler, okay? Tuesday, one girl. Wednesday, next girl. Oh my gosh, he was popping off. But the truth is, I don't think that's necessarily how life should function. But I see a lot of similarities between middle school relationships and high school relationships and college relationships and adult life relationships, and I think it's interesting to kind of boil that down. Because when I was in middle school, I was this guy who wanted to just have fun with people, you know? I wanted to have new experiences, I wanted to meet new people, meet new groups of people, and get closer to the people that I thought were fun and awesome to be around. And one of the main ways I did this was through relationships, right? I thought that was a fun thing to do. I thought flirting was a little fun. And it was something I did a lot. But the truth is, there was also a lot of social pressure. I think a lot of times, especially in middle school, you'll see the teenage boys all huddled around one boy saying, hey, go ask her, go ask her, go ask her. He goes off and he asks the girl and she says yes. And then they go on a date and all the boys are talking about it going, oh my gosh, I can't believe he did that. He's the Rizzler. But you see that almost in high school. I mean, you see a big friend group and maybe 3 of them have girlfriends, and then there's a 4th one who's feels a little isolated and goes, oh, that might be fun. And then a 5th one. And it's not bad at all. It's just something that happens is we have this innate social pressure. It's with boys, girls, anyone else, that we need a girlfriend or we need a boyfriend or we need something, that we need a spouse. And I think it's a good point in your life whenever you are in a relationship or you see someone else in a relationship to just think about it for a second and think about how the social pressure has affected you. That doesn't mean it's made your relationship. That doesn't mean it's harmed your relationship, but it's evident. It's powerful. Colleges and your college decisions, the social pressure is powerful. It's there. I think with me and my girlfriend, I've been dating her for a long time. And I've had people come up to me and say, if you break up, I think love's dead. And I'm like, wow, that's a very interesting thing to say. One, it's a sign of admiration for our relationship, and it's a sign of being like, hey, I really like where you're going on. I wish I had that too. But it's interesting because it puts a pressure on me and her. Not super strong, but it's a pressure that's there. And puts a pressure almost in themselves by verbalizing that love is this very specific thing that they're seeing right now, and that if that doesn't exist, love is dead. Now, I don't think anyone's like signing a contract and going, this means that love is dead or whatever, but they're verbalizing it, and every time you verbalize something, I think it becomes a little more true. But anyway, we were talking about social pressure, we were talking about verbalizing that love is dead. I think that relationships in middle school normally start because they want to have fun. Right? They want to, whether it's social pressure induced or it's hey, this girl looks pretty, so I just want to kind of hang out with her. You know, something like that happens and it's great. But I think like 2 different parts of relationship come from the foundations. There's this friendship having fun part, and then there's like this intimacy romantic part. And I think the friendship having fun is truly just like a friend, like a, hey, let's hang out. I think when people first talk about breaking up with someone, their main concern is that, oh, I'm worried that after we break up, we won't stay friends. If that's your main concern, I think that it's more important that if you think the relationship needs to end, that you make the relationship end, personally. But I'm not going to give you relationship breaking up advice, so we're not going to talk about that. But anyway, the friend part, and then you also have the intimacy part, which is the more romantic stuff that comes with kind of like a visual desire and whatever else. And I think those 2 things are both important. I think for some people, this intimacy one might be a little less, but I think intimacy can mean a lot of things. I mean, I think intimacy can be sharing your deepest feelings, right? There are a lot of things that we're scared to share with the rest of the world. There are things we don't share with our friends, but we share with their partner. And I think both of those things, the friend side and then the intimacy side, need to be active in a relationship in order for it to work, right? Maybe you visually don't find people that attractive, which is, I know there are a lot of people who feel that way. And in which case, maybe intimacy again is your sharing secrets, and then you're able to have fun with them. That's great. You have those 2 parts. But I think a lot of times relationships keep going because one person likes one part a ton. Like maybe you really like the intimacy, which, you know, you do you. But the friend part isn't there, right? You're not able to just have fun with that person. And I think that's where things start to go downhill, is when people start trying to make something work in those 2 when it's really not happening. And I think throughout all this, you have the social pressure. You have people telling you what intimacy should feel like. I'm literally telling you right now that you should have 2 things. after this video ends, you can just like ignore it, pretend like it didn't exist. But you currently have so many people telling you, or different outlets of media saying, hey, this is what you should be doing for intimacy. This is what intimacy feels like. You have people telling you about their stories, right? Maybe they're like, oh, me and my girlfriend just like watch movies and we rank people on how attractive they are. I would put that probably on a friend thing. And maybe for you, for one person, that's absolutely great. Maybe for another person, that's like, I don't know how I feel about that, right? But it's a pressure that's coming in on you, and you're like, oh, maybe I should be feeling this way. Oh, I don't think I hang out with my girlfriend enough. I don't think I hang out with my boyfriend enough. It's this social pressure that's changing your perspective. I think one thing I like to do is take a moment to just reflect on not even my own like romantic relationship, but my relationships with friends. And I think about the connection I have with them and how it's affected by peer pressure and how it would be if it was just me and them, like in a world with no one else. Obviously, it would be very, very different, but I think about just how people even saying things about them on the side changes my perspective. I've had friends that I've been super close to, and I've been on trips with people, and then they start talking not so great about my friends. And that makes me feel really bad. And I try to talk to them, and I'm like, hey, let's not do that. Let me butt in real quick. I also don't think you should ever be quiet when someone's talking bad about your friend. Even if they're not there, I don't think that's a good thing. I think it builds up a negative connotation in your mind about that person, and it's reinforcing negative stereotypes for everyone else in the friend group. So anyway, regardless, people say things and then that goes in your head. If you're in a relationship with your partner and then someone says something about your partner, or your partner says something about relationships, it's gonna get in there. But even think about the media you consume, right? We see Instagram reels joking about relationships, but every single time you see one of those, it builds up a stereotype. So it's totally okay. I just think it's curious to think about. But relationships in general, I think, are good. So there's that. But I think you just have to realize what you're in it for. Are you in it to have fun? Because I think a lot of people have fun and then they develop something deeper. And I think there are people who immediately want to date for marriage and wait till they find the right person that fits every single one of their requirements, or maybe not every requirement, and goes for it. But I think it's important before you get into a relationship to know what you're doing. I think if you don't know what you're doing before you get in, I think there can be some fun with that, so go for it. But I also think it's important to take some time to reflect on yourself and what you're expecting. Because I think the worst thing that happens, and the number one reason that people have breakoffs and there's fighting, is because there's a difference in expectation of what one party wants and what the other party wants. I mean, that's even what happens in lawsuits. One party says, I want this, one party says, I want this, and they don't fully communicate, and then it doesn't work. Boom. Or like someone's like suing someone because like they broke the law. But I digress. In a relationship, I think the most important thing to do is to be yourself. If you're letting social pressure tell you how you have to act around your boyfriend or girlfriend, it's not going to be a successful relationship. You need to be who you are and do what makes you happy. And if it's hanging out with your spouse, go for it. Have a good time. If it's playing Minecraft, do it. Anyway, my recommendation is just be yourself and have fun with the people you have fun with. Thank you very much. Have a great morning, afternoon, or night.